little bit concerned about that. So, any YouTuber. So that's nice. So
where did this
end? If you directly click it, discontinued. Because the camera, my phone is currently on a really cheap eBay tripod, which is fine for my phone, but this will topple over if I try and use it with this one though. So yeah, as ever with these live streams, for some reason I don't know whether it's the app or my granny's Wi-Fi, but for some reason it bloody crashed out again. Yeah. Alright, so someone's back. Let's give everyone a second. Going back to 0. Come on. So, inevitable has happened. For some reason, this app, it's either the app or this will just crash after a bit of time. So, but I will answer the questions that I didn't answer before. I'll probably end this bit. So, I did actually screenshot them this time. So, most of boxes, that's madness, isn't my name, just seeing. Wasn't me, guy. My bad, but Andy J asked me before this thing got cooked, before the screen got cooked, unfortunately. Andy J asked me, is Nathan happy with you moving back home? I doubt he'll fucking notice. Because Nathan barely ever fucking see him. Barely see him, and neither does anyone else in my family. Because before, until last Friday, he was constantly on his Xbox in his room. And he's been like that ever since he got an Xbox way back in, what was it, 2014, 2015? So yeah, ever since then he's, but last Friday, he got a PS4. No, not a PS5, but a PS4 Slim. And he fucking overpaid for it. It was £260 he paid. 260 quid. Oh, God. 260. I got mine brand new back in 2016. Brand new for 120. That was a hell of a deal. I'm pretty sure it was 2016. It was just after the Slim came out. I actually got it off a guy off Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, he probably won't know. He'll probably just be in his room as normal. So will not make any difference to him. In fact, he'll probably be more happy about it because it'll mean that he'll have to pull less weight because since I wasn't at home, it meant he had to start doing shit like walking Bobby, doing the dishwasher. That was about it, really. Yeah, he doesn't like doing anything and generally refuses. I'm literally the only one out of me, my brother and my sister who will just, when either my mum or dad or my granny or whatever asks us to do something, I will just do it. Generally, they bloody kick up about it and sometimes not even do it. So yeah, answered that question. The idiot of fandom says ripped off. Okay, I know. I think someone said that to me last time, I don't know if it was you who said that, I can't remember, but someone said in a previous stream that I'm a rip-off or I'm ripped off something. What am I ripping off? Oh, right, Okay, I see. He said he meant the police station. Yeah. Yeah, he could have, but I literally said to him, if you wait until, like, you know, April or whenever, wait a month, then the prices will go down. At the moment, nothing is on sale at the moment. But if you're waiting till the shops open and everything, things will most likely go back on sale. But nah, he won't wait. He will not wait. Because he wasn't paying for it, this was a gift for him because my mum and my dad had promised him a PS4 for doing well in his exam. Even though he didn't actually do his exams because, you know, because, you know, we were on lockdown last year, he just got his predicted grades for his GCSEs and they were, you know, and ended up being his actual grades since he couldn't do his actual exam. So yeah, I am a bit annoyed at that. I will admit it is a little bit annoying because I've worked fucking hard to get my exam results. And that, and you know, they did help pay for things. They did help pay for things, including some of my expensive electronics. None of the things I currently use. No, not this either. No, none of the things I currently use, but yeah, is a bit annoying. Is a bit annoying. But hey ho, there we go. I mean, to be honest, if I didn't have to do mine, I would just be as thrilled. So yeah, not waiting around. But yeah, 12th of April, you know, hopefully shops will be back open, and I know exactly what I'll be doing. I'll be probably heading down to Primark to get some new shirts, and then I'll be heading to IKEA to look at the shelving units and beds and shit, and measure stuff out. So, yeah. Also, any others there? This is something I have at my granny's, which I'll be taking home, which, you know, is very useful. I do have a proper toolbox at home of screwdrivers, but these, you know, always have a set of screwdrivers. Always have a set of screwdrivers. This is the one I keep permanently at my granny's. And even when my granny goes into wherever she's going to end up going, these will go there. Because I do have a proper toolbox at home full of bloody stuff. So, yeah. But what I was saying before the live stream cutouts, basically, if you're going to do, you know, some kind of videos to what I do where you review Dog Suit merchandise, have a sturdy tripod. Good sturdy tripod, and also get an LED ring light. This is the first one I got, which is, you know, just this is a 6-inch one. This one's useful because it can slot over my shotgun mic, so I don't have to put it anywhere. But I also do have, oh, it's big. I do also have this one, which is a 10-inch one, which you can buy from B&M with a tripod and a phone mount for a tenner. If you can still find them, they were part of their Christmas range, though. In some of them, they still have stock of them. So yeah, if you can find that, get that. It's a hell of a deal. So especially, you know, have it all set up and ready, because good lighting is good, and good audio is also good. Something I actually did the other day for this live stream, actually in preparation, I need to do it anyway. I actually cleaned out the microphone holes on my phone, because I don't know if you know this, but your phone, when it's in your pocket, you know, you can get all bloody dust and debris and pocket links and shit stuck in those microphone holes. It will happen. So I spent yesterday, or the day before, actually, Sunday, with an LED magnifying glass and a sim ejection tool, literally just getting the bits of fluff and that out of the microphone hole. So hopefully the audio should sound a little bit better than on the previous streams that I've done as of recent. Although then again, I do know when I do stream, the audio gets I notice the audio gets really compressed when I do these streams on my phone. It gets which is weird, because when I'm recording it normally, it doesn't sound that bad, but when I do it on a stream, it just sounds utterly shit and really tinny. So, depends on things. In terms of other plans, things coming, I'm still planning out on what I'm doing for my 10-year anniversary special video, which I'm just working on plans of what the video is going to be. I've got a couple of things in it that I do plan to do, but it is it is going to be fairly meta. The video on what it's going to be, so yeah, it's not going to be any Doctor Who sort of fan film kind of thing. It's going to be something a bit different and a lot more meta. And unfortunately, because of lockdown and everything, it's not going to be the video that was initially planned because I'm limited to what I can actually do. Basically, it has to basically take place in one place and can only really star me. So, yeah. But plans are being pursued for that, so that should come out on April 13th. Yeah, I did see what camera I used, but the camera I used that I just showed before, which is over there, that's it there, is the Panasonic DMC G7, so more commonly just referred to as the Panasonic G7, which is a 4K mirrorless camera. Unfortunately, it's discontinued now. When I did get it, it was just after it being discontinued, which is why I got it for a really good price. I think it was I paid £330-ish for it. And that's the camera I've used since I think it was May 2019 I got it. So yeah, I've used it now for nearly 2 years now. So very happy with that camera. But obviously there is other models. The closest one to that, there is the Panasonic G80, which is actually the next model up from that one. It's its successor. That one you can get for it's a bit more. You're probably going to pay around £400 to £500 for something like that. But to be honest, you can do what I did do for over a year and just use, if you want, just use your phone camera. I mean, this is the front-facing camera on my phone, but the rear-facing camera, I've got a Galaxy Note 8, and I can shoot 4K videos on this. In fact, a lot of my reviews in before May 2019, and all of my figure reviews in 2018, all of them were shot on this phone. All of my figure reviews. So the B&M Third Doctor Tardis from 2018, the Palatoy K9, the 12-inch radio-controlled Emperor's Dalek Guard with sensor arm review. They were shot on this phone. So generally, yeah, just generally start off just using your phone. And if you want to up it a little bit, get a a semi-decent microphone for your phone, or dub it in later. So yeah, and if you have a USB mic and an Android phone, you can connect it there. I don't know about iPhones, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, the Idiot Fandom, that is the camera that I use. I mean, if you're not bothered about getting them brand new, then you can get a Panasonic G7 used. I was about to say cheaply, but not really, because to be honest, they have held their value. In fact, I think they're slightly more expensive now than they were when I got it for a used one. But yeah, I guess like that one. The only thing with that one is the Panasonic G7. Always use it in, and this is something I do when I do figure reviews. Whenever I'm reviewing figures, I always use the camera in its manual mode. At least for focusing. Always use manual focus when you're doing figure reviews, because believe me, for years and years is the classic thing of trying to get this in focus. It's much easier when you've got a manual focus, particularly if on that one where it's an actual ring you can turn around. Because yeah, the problem is that most cameras, their autofocus is based on people's faces. It's both. If they can detect a face, then yeah, great, they can focus on it. But if it's, you know, a Dalek or something that doesn't have anything that resembles a human face, it has a bit of a harder time on focusing on that. So that would be my suggestions. Basically, you know, use manual focus, have some good lighting, you know, just LED lighting, LED ring lights, which, again, I mean, these cost about, this one here, I think, is about £8 on eBay, and for the 10-inch one, again, from B&M, that's a tenner, and it comes as a full kit. Try and have as good audio as possible as well. Again, you don't have to spend a lot to get a decent mic. I mean, the microphone I use on my camera when I do reviews, that microphone, shotgun mic, I think it's called Texcar or something like that, and it was I think it was about 25, 30 quid. And yeah, it does a pretty good job for the money. So that'll be what I recommend there, in terms of that. But obviously, you know, yeah, it's just what I've used for years and what I'm used to. I mean, yeah. Interesting, thank you for the reply. No bother. Joseph Gavling, just wondering, the last live stream when I said I was getting an iPhone, why did you respond by saying, why do you want to get an iPhone? Yeah, basically, I'm not a fan of iPhones or anything Apple, because generally it goes against what I believe in, is that options. I like to have options and I don't like limitations. For example, expandable storage. I need a phone that has expandable storage. I've got a terabyte micro SD card in my phone, and it's just beyond halfway full. Just beyond halfway full. I've got a terabyte plus the 64 gigs of the internal storage. I've got about 6 gigs of those left. So yeah, I use a lot of storage. And I also like to install third-party apps. And I do just like to have more control over things. I like to customize things to how I like. I do like to tweak things on that. Also, it's also really nice to have USB-C. It just makes a lot of things much easier, and also means there's also a greater compatibility. So basically, you know, I can use any accessories if I wanted to. If I had it with me, actually, I could use my Blue Snowball microphone, just plug it in, and it would just work. No problems, done. I wouldn't have to worry about any compatibilities and stuff like that. That's just what I like. But if you like that, then fine. I think it's up to you. That's just my personal opinion. But there was also this thing I did when I did actually do work. When I did have an apprenticeship as an IT support. Whenever someone said, "Oh, I've got someone with an iPhone or a Mac," just like, what's the advice for that? Throw it out the window. That was literally what they said to give them in terms of that advice. Because, yeah, they're not as easy to pass on with. But anyway, Andy G asks, what will you do when you completely run out of space for your collection? Well, hopefully that'll never happen. So, yeah. What will I do? Ask me if it ever does. If it ever does happen, then I'll gladly let you know. I will gladly let you know. If it does ever happen, I will tell you what will happen. But hopefully it will never happen, because I am very good at organising things to make sure there's always space for things. The problem is that circumstances rapidly change, and suddenly, rather than having to, you know, make a bit more space, I've got to make a huge amount more space, which is a lot more difficult. It's much easier to plan ahead when it's only like, for example, I already had planned ahead where I'm going to put the new B&M sets, and then suddenly that's all kind of out the window. There's a difference between getting, you know, a lot of the new B&M sets and then having to literally move all of my stuff from one place to another. I sat my grannies and back home. So yeah, But you know, hopefully things will stable out, and that's because, I mean, the reason I have bunk beds which take up a lot of space in the first place, and that is because way back when my brother Nathan, he used to share a room with me before we got an extension back in 2010. So for a few years we actually shared a room together. He moved in my room, and then I kicked him out, and that happened. A literal kicking out, yeah. But we'll see. So you know, ideally, get rid of the bunk bed and just have a high top bed where I can put stuff underneath. That will create space. I've got 2 wardrobes. One of them has fallen to bits and has literally just got 2 of my 18-inch Daleks in. One of them is going to be gotten rid of. And yeah, just trying to clear things out. I'll actually be going home tomorrow because they need me. My mum needs me to try and fix the bathroom door, which is apparently falling off its hinges. So I'll have a look at that, and then hopefully try and make a start on clearing things out. But I will try and document this and make videos on it and that. So that's all that to come. In terms of everything else, there's actually an update on my previous video. So Scarecrow Props, I did actually manage to, who finally replied back to me the other day when I asked him, because bear in mind, he's had my Sonic for 2 weeks. Just over 2 weeks now. Yeah, he's had my Sonic for just over 2 weeks. And I asked him, have you started on my Sonic? Bear in mind, you know, I paid him £50 just to paint it. And he said no. Now, I know, and the reason he said is because he has some theatre project that the deadline was yesterday for, so he said definitely this week he'd start working on it. Though he did say that last week as well, so we'll hopefully see. I know I shouldn't be pushing him in that, and I do whenever he does say that, I just say okay and then just back off. But at the same time, you know, I've paid £50. I mean, if I went up to, you know, a business and said, hey, can you do this for me? How much is it? They said £50. All right. You know, you wouldn't want to go back weeks later and go, how's the progress? Oh, we haven't even started. So, you know, just because, you know, I do like Scarecrow Props. We could actually have a few good chats. But I've also sent him almost all of the rips of the Doctor Who season box sets. Including Season 8. I think there's only a couple left he needs to download, which I've sent them so he can have better reference material, because obviously they're newer transfers, so they're better quality, but also particularly the photo galleries and that is nice. So yeah, but we'll see. You know, we'll just see how that goes. Hopefully he can do it this week, and hopefully I should receive it. If he does, hopefully I'll receive it next week, because it shouldn't take long to do. Like, I spoke to one of my other friends and he said, how long would that take you to do if I gave it you? And he said, a couple of hours at the most, or something along those lines. So yeah, it should be something that shouldn't take too long. So hopefully, you know, he can do it this week. Fingers crossed. Did you get the Season 8 collection box set? Well, if you didn't figure out, yes I did. If you watch the first part of the live stream after you've watched this, I do go into my thoughts on everything about the Season 8 box set. But yes, I did get it. I have an unboxing of it on this channel, in fact. But I do have it, and I've also ripped it to MP4. So now I don't need to use the discs anymore, which is good, because, you know, the box is a bit fragile, so yeah. But yeah, I did get it, which means now I have all of the Doctor Who box sets, and I obviously have also pre-ordered season 24. And here's my advice: I pre-ordered from HMV, and I will be doing that from now on, no matter what it is. Even if HMV is slightly more expensive, I will still pre-order from HMV. Normally they're the same price as anywhere else. But why HMV? Because they're reliable. With Amazon in the past, people's orders have been cancelled. With Zoom, I had a whole fiasco where they lost my order. HMV never had a problem with them. Never had a problem. And they always come on the date that they say they're going to. So HMV, yeah, for now I'm just pre-ordering from HMV because they're reliable. They are reliable, and also they generally have really good, in my experience, they have really good customer service. From what I've experienced, generally no fuss. Just like you have a problem, they'll sort it out. So yeah. Joseph Gavling said, I got an iPhone 12 Max in blue, 256 gigs. I really like it so far. 256 gigs gone in the blink of an eye. If I had something with 256 gigs, because I'm very good at filling up space. Wink, wink. Oh god, that was a terrible joke. But yeah, in terms of storage space, yeah, I go through storage like there's no tomorrow. Because at home I have a 3 terabyte external hard drive, which is all my DVD and Blu-ray rips, which is nearly full. Then I have a 6 terabyte hard drive, which has all of my videos from 2017 till 2020 on it. All them projects and that are on there. And then lastly, I got a new 8 terabyte drive, which will have all of my 2021 videos and projects and that on there from now until whenever it's full. So yeah. And also the reason I also edit in videos and that off those drives, the reason is it's easy to also transfer it. I used to, store them on my laptop's hard drive way back when, but it's much better for me to store it on external drives because they're easier to take around and there's no transferring things and farting on with things. So yeah. Anyway, it's nice Apple bought back my iPhone 4s and 5s, flat eggshell, so the previous one was a 5.4. God, this next person's name I got for Cygnus Alpha. I'm hoping I get that name right. Hey, when I showed hang on, let me read this again. Hey, when you showed they leaked the product codes on the new B&M sets, the stuff they said was coming in October. Well, one, you didn't send me anything. So you're getting a bit confused. You didn't actually... Those screenshots and that, a friend actually sent me to them, so, and you haven't even got the same name as that person, so I'm a bit confused there. So yeah, I don't know what you're getting a bit confused on, but if you go look back at the videos I did when I did the B&M leaks, the screenshots were sent to me from a friend who screenshotted them before they went away. So yeah, I don't know. And plus your name is not the name on this from the person who apparently leaked them, so I'm not sure what you're getting at with that, but okay, we'll move on. The Data Fandom. I love the restoration on Terror the Autons. Again, I have a whole thing talking about that on my previous live stream, so I do talk about Season 8 quite a bit on the first part of the live stream, so again, that should come up when it's finished processing. Andy J, do you get bored of the B&M figure re-releases? No, I love them. I wish they would. If you talk about the Dalek, I really love them because, to be honest, I'd much rather have a re-release of a figure that I want than have a figure release that I don't give a shit about. Prime example. I would much rather have the billionth release of any Dalek figure, bar a couple, than have the fucking Yaz figure and Cardboard and Mr. Blandy. Because I could not give a shit about the series 12 and 11 figures. Haven't bought any of them. Never will. Because I'm not interested in the slightest. So, Yeah, I'm not getting bored of them. I'm excited for them. I wish Alduar would stop fucking with them. I'm looking at you, Alduar, who changes the shoulder sections of Daleks because he fucking fancies it. Gives the Fourth Doctor a new head sculpt. Because I don't know why. So he can get the credit to say he did it. Because the old one was superior. The old one was superior. It looked more like Tom Baker. The new one just doesn't. It's not as good. Now, will they use that head sculpt on the season 12 Fourth Doctor will do with the giant robots? I doubt it. I doubt it. And the reason I doubt it is because that'd be more expensive to do because of the way that one's sculpted. So I doubt it, but it's Alduar, and Alduar unfortunately has gained a massive ego over the past couple of years. Ever since those 2019 B&M sets, he has gained a massive ego since. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, my point still stands. I think Alduar is the John Nathan Turner of character options, of the luxury figures and that. He's done a lot of good stuff, but he's also responsible for a lot of bad stuff as well. And the problem is, his kind of ego gets inflated with that. The same thing happened with Stephen Moffat as well. So yeah. Joseph Gavling, I don't think I'll really bother with the Blu-ray box sets, as I was weighing to my DVD collection by the time season 12 came out. Well, I'll still buy them. Why do I buy the Blu-ray sets? It's for the special features, really. I mean, it is also nice to have new transfers that do look better for the most part, but it's not like night and day. So it's like, oh yeah, that does look slightly better. But it's not like a night and day difference. It doesn't make the DVD versions unwatchable. You know, it is just a very slight, because they are still in standard definition. So, apart from any film trims they might find, it is all still in standard definition. So, yeah, the special features are why I buy them, generally. I pre-ordered season 24 off Amazon. My season 8 arrived on time in one piece though. Good for you. I bought all this year. I bought all of them this year, but season 10. Season 10, again, you can still get the American version. I don't think you can get the Australian version. The Australian versions, if you don't know, are nearly identical to the UK ones. The only difference is the flapping mechanism for the booklet. Flapping mechanism. Just a government, aren't they? But what's the point? I think they will probably release them again in standard Blu-ray cases. I don't see why people get them, but it ain't for me. Well, I've said this all along. When they've done the full line of the Blu-ray sets, they will re-release them in standard Blu-ray case. I've said this from the very beginning. It is probably going to happen. It is probably going to happen. But if you get them along, if you buy them at retail, if you pre-order them and get them at retail, it's a good price for what they are. It is a good price for what they are, and the packaging is part of that. I do like the packaging. It feels much more like a collector's item than, say, the steelbooks do. The steelbooks, to me, don't seem that much of a collector's item, whereas the Blu-ray sets are, where they have, loads of new special features. The packaging of that, is a nice display piece. And also the booklet as well. The booklet, oof. Lovely booklets. Have loads of information and artwork in them as well. Lovely booklets. Just going. They look nice, and I really want to see the new documentaries. I'm glad you enjoy them, but for me, the special features are very hit and miss. On the Blu-ray section, it's more. I've noticed more recently, it's more quality over quantity of them, and that Terrence Dicks tribute documentary was really good. It was really good. The tribute documentaries seem to be generally when they're at their high point. Simon Salva, they leaked the V&M sex product codes and it says October. It could be October. I'm not saying but there could be also more. Because from the leaks I had beforehand, it did say July, and that does kind of make sense. October seems a little bit later down the line. They could be splitting them in two rather than have them all released at the same time. But regardless whether that leak is right or your leak is right, at the end of the day, they'll come out when they come out. That's just, I was going to say, until there is an official, release date. And even then, official release date, take that with a pinch of salt, because it's up to B&M when they're stocked. Sometimes B&M get them in a bit earlier than the release date. Sometimes they get them in late. A la the Core Hill School set. They got them in really late. It's just found, have you watched the documentaries on Behind the Sofa? I might check them out when they get re-released. I'm completely so CD for buy all the UK versions. Yeah, I mean, as long as you pre-order them from a reliable site, then yeah, you should be fine. And generally, I wouldn't be surprised if later this year we might get a repressing of season 8. I wouldn't be surprised, because I mean, season 12 they re-released. Was it last year or the year before? But they did re-release season 12. Season 14 got a later release as well, so yeah. And then how are they hit on this? Because with a lot of the DVDs, the special features are hit or miss. Again, with the DVDs, sometimes they couldn't really think of a special feature to put on there, or sometimes they spent all the money on something else in terms of either the restoration or something like that. But with the Blu-ray set, generally most of the money does go to the special features, and the special features, are a lot more grandiose, like proper documentaries, where they go out to different locations and that generally. Yeah. The X-Fang, do you collect Dapol figures? I've recently started to. No, I do not collect Dapol figures, because just like the thing with Dapol figures, unless you have a nostalgia for them, then really there's just nothing about them to me that's really worth getting. But I do have 2 Dapol Daleks. In fact, no, I've got 4. I've got 4 Dapol Daleks in total. 2 of them are movie ones. And then I've got red and silver and that's meant to be a 60s silver one, but kind of isn't. But yeah, in terms of Dapol Daleks, that's all I've got. Just because it's just like, there's nothing about, like, they don't have, unlike, say, the Palatoys, they don't have that, kind of more retro sort of appeal like the Palatoy ones. They talk and then they have a bit, they are a bit more odd and quirky. The Dapol ones just don't really have that, to me personally. They might for you, but yeah, for me, no, there's nothing really about them that kind of jumps out to me, really. So no, I don't, unfortunately. It's the idiot of fandom. They need to show a whole new level look. I'll wait for the normal Blu-ray release. Yeah, whether they'll come, they should come. But again, you could buy the American ones. You could buy the American ones and just get them imported over here. Because even when they do re-releases of them in standard Blu-ray cases, because at the moment you can buy all of the American versions, even all the way back to season 12. You can buy the American versions. Season 12 on Amazon right now, for the US release, I think is £35. Which, to be honest, when they do get standard releases here in the UK, like, don't expect them to be cheaper. They will most likely be £40 or 45 or around the same price they were before. I doubt they'll get much cheaper if they do ever do, you know, full blown re-releases. Or they might just constantly keep doing the what is called the Disney Vault strategy. Now, if you don't know what the Disney Vault strategy is, basically back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s, all the way up until now, what Disney used to do is basically, with what they called their untouchables, basically their, you know, big blockbuster successful films, what they would do back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, they would release them on VHS and Betamax for a limited amount of time. They would only have them available for like a month or two, and then they would say, oh, they're going back in the Disney Vault, and they'd have adverts going, oh, you better hurry up and buy these for your kids before they go back into the Disney Vault. And then what they would do, you know, a year or two, what they would do a couple of years later or so, sometimes even 5 years later, they'd say, oh, this, you know, 101 Dalmatians or The Jungle Book is coming out of the Disney Vault, but for only a very limited time. Go out and buy it now for your kids, otherwise they will miss out on this Disney classic film. And they do this, and then they eventually did it with DVDs. I remember my sister had to pay, back in like 2015 or something, £20 or something for The Lion King from CEX, only for it to get a re-release from the Disney Vault literally a few months later. Disney have now abandoned that strategy. They've now abandoned, basically as soon as Disney Plus came about, they've basically abandoned that, so all their films are now like just like permanently available in some shape or form on physical media. But yeah, the Doctor Who Blu-ray box sets are exactly the same. Buy this box set now with all the new special features and that, but hurry, it's only available for a limited time, and well, not limited time, but limited quantity. Well, it's only available now, and then suddenly a bit later on, hey, look, we've had a reprint of it. Here's season 12 re-release. Quickly buy before it goes out of stock. So they might just decide to continue that strategy forever. They could, because it works. It works, you know. Why have a permanent release of it when they can continue doing that? The only place that they haven't is the US, where they're not limited edition releases. They are just, I mean, they're supposed to be, but they're just getting standard Blu-ray cases. So, yeah. But the good thing is it's a good way to get it. But it also results in a lot of Americans I know importing the UK version using Zavi, because they're one of the few that imports from the UK to the US. So, yeah, because all the Blu-ray sets are region-free, so you can just import them and watch them on any Blu-ray player. In fact, most Blu-rays are region-free, because a lot of the time they can't be asked. And these are the exact words of someone I've spoken to. I think it was from Warner Bros. Who said they can't be asked about region coding on most Blu-rays. So, yeah, DVDs, different case for them. But, yeah, there we go. There we go. So they might just end up just doing you know, limited re-releases indefinitely with the Blu-ray sets. They might do that, but there will always be another chance to pick them up for those who are patient with it. Now, they are, if you remember, they are available digitally. Yeah, you can actually get digital copies, but they don't have all the special features. You can actually buy official digital copies from Google Play and Amazon. And I actually did a video on it where season 12, I think, was £90, but didn't include only included a couple of special features. So, yeah. But anyway, that was a different video. I think it was called Doctor Who Ripoffs or something like that I did. Yeah. CMSS says US, it says, are region free. Yep. Just like I said. All the Doctor Who BBC Blu-rays are region-free. Most Blu-rays in general are region-free. Not many of them have region coding, and again they're very easy to get around. And all 4K Blu-rays, all UHD Blu-rays, they're all region free by default because that was part of their specification. So yeah, same with CDs as well. All CDs are region free. Just going. Wow, I didn't know they were not limited edition in the US. Yeah, they're not. You can buy all of them if you go on Amazon right now. You can find all of them from various different sellers. You can find them on eBay. But yeah, you can basically, if you're not bothered about the UK packaging and you want to get, caught up with all the Blu-ray sets, then just buy the US editions. There's only one thing that wasn't included. There's only one special feature on the season 12 box set the US version doesn't have, which is the documentary they go out, which isn't a very good documentary. It's a documentary where they talk about what was happening in the press and what was happening on TV at the time of season 12, which is on the UK and Australian version, but not the US one due to a copyright issue. But in terms of that, everything else is exactly the same across the board on all of them. So, yeah. Anyway, it's a fan. What's your favourite Blu-ray collection art? I'm going to have to say the season 12. It's my favourite season, and I do love the artwork on that one. I checked Amazon in US and I might buy them. You can buy from Amazon UK as well. You can buy it from Amazon UK, and generally a lot of them don't actually charge you import. Some do, some don't, but generally if it's from Amazon directly, they generally don't charge you imports most of the time. You'll have to double check that out, but a lot of the time they don't. Yeah, Angie, what's your favourite? When is your 4th album being released? Oh yeah, that has got put on hold. My 4th album has been put on hold because I'm just too busy at the moment. Because when I started that out, that was before this whole thing of me having to move my collection around and shit happened. So yeah, unfortunately, that's all been put on hold. 2 songs, basically a grand total of 2 songs are being fully complete, and another 2 are about halfway done. So yeah, at the moment, couldn't tell you when my 4th album's coming out. But when it is, it'll be, as soon as it's finished, it'll go straight out. As soon as it's finished. So yeah, Simus Alpha. Says October on the images you've got on the new B&M sets. I'm going to double check this. I'm trying to find where I stored that image. Here we go. Email July. Five Doctors Evil. No, it says July. It says July there. From Anthony Fagan. That was, so yeah, that says July. And anyway, I'm bored at this. If you have information saying they are going to be released in October, okay then. Fair enough. At the end of the day, they're still coming out. But just like they'll come out when they come out. There's nothing I or you can do about it. So yeah, they'll come out when they come out, and we will probably get an announcement in the next few months, hopefully. Yeah. Joseph Gowling. Here's the thing with the release of them again in the UK. I wonder if they will be better than the US ones. Here's the thing. If they were release them again in the UK. I wonder. Well, no. Well, the thing is, if they decide to do the limited release again, then they'll just be exactly the same. I mean, the season 12 re-release, apart from a tweak in the spine of the artwork, were exactly the same as the original releases. So yeah, I doubt it. Again, that'll be far, far, far down the line. And yes, can you release your albums on vinyl? Yes, I technically could, but it would just be far too expensive to do, because I would have to, because it would cost me about, well, it depends how many copies I would do. If I only did a few copies, then it would cost me around £40-45 each to get pressed for just like a handful. If I wanted like 100 or something, then that would cost more, but it's just not worth it. Cassettes I can do, because I can do them myself on my actual decks I've got, which is quite nice. But vinyl releases, nah, just too expensive to do, unfortunately. So that's for October on. Read each line. Yeah, ask for the first Doctor in Tardis. I'm talking about the 3-packs. And the sex, so they are split in 2 halves. So some of them are still coming in July. Okay. I never said. I said that. From what I was gathering, I thought you were saying that none of them were coming in July. Okay. Anyway, what 60s figures would you like to be released? Six. Oh yeah. Can we finally have that prototype Wheeling Space Cyberman released? Because there is one, Alduar. If you're going back looking at figures that you made prototypes of that you never released, how about that Wheeling Space Cyberman? Because it's the only Cyberman we haven't got from the classics. It's the only major one we haven't got. So yeah, Wheeling Space Cyberman. Obviously, I'd love to have a Jamie. We might be getting an Ian and Barbara and Susan. Who knows this year? Other than that, I'd like to see an Ice Lord, Ice Warrior released. That'd be nice. I'm trying to think of anything else, really. Yeah, other than that, can't really think of anything I'm really desperate for off the top of my head. Joseph Gavling, this might be a dumb question, but can they release classic stories on 4K Blu-ray? Though I doubt. Can they release? Okay. So this is going to get a little bit technical. But I'm going to explain it very simply. So 4K Blu-ray. What people don't actually know about 4K Blu-ray is not actually a new format. What 4K Blu-rays actually are quadruple density Blu-rays or BDXL discs. And basically what they are is 100 gigabyte Blu-ray discs. They have got 4 layers as opposed to a standard Blu-ray which either has 1 layer or 2 layer. A single layer Blu-ray is 25 gigs, a dual layer Blu-ray is 50 gigs. Which most of the Blu-ray discs in the Got 2 Blu-ray box sets are 50 gigs. Yes, they're usually dual layer ones. So 4K Blu-ray, in terms of a new format, it's not really a new format. It's not really a new format. In terms of the physical format itself, the only difference is the video specification for it is. So the video specification for Blu-ray format is a lot more flexible than Blu-ray is. But generally, will we ever get 4K Blu-rays? No, not really, because there's not really a point. The main advantage with the Blu-ray box sets is that since they're putting standard, for the most part, standard definition content upscaled onto a Blu-ray disc, it doesn't take up that much space. So they can fit an entire season into a box set that's between 6 and 8 discs, normally. So generally it's to save on, it saves on space and that now. In terms of 4K Blu-ray, the main advantages of 4K Blu-rays, obviously it'll still be standard def regardless. It'll be still standard def, so there's no advantage there. Could they do an HDR treatment? Yes, but it wouldn't be true HDR, it would be fake HDR. For example, the one and only new series 4K Blu-ray that's being released, the only Doctor Who 4K Blu-ray in fact, is Twice Upon a Time, which is fake HDR. It's fake HDR because it's just basically fake HDR is generally just putting a filter and trying to recolorize something that's already a finished product. And also, since they're in standard def, there's not really enough color information there as well to actually give them an HDR treatment as well, because most of them were filmed on videotape, which has a limited amount of information. I'm trying to make this as simple as I can, because I could go into this for fucking hours on end, so yeah. Most likely, no. The only true 4K Blu-rays they could release for Doctor Who, and they would be true 4K, is the 2 Dalek films. The 2 Dalek films, the 2 Peter Cushing Dalek films, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do rescans of them for the 60th anniversary and re-release them on 4K Blu-ray and they would benefit from an HDR treatment because they're very colourful. The closest thing in terms of the classic series, Spearhead from Space, they could do a 2K upscale, so it wouldn't be quite as good as having true 4K, but they could still do a true HDR treatment to that, since it is, shot on film. So they could do a true HDR treatment for that. So they could do that from Spearhead from Space. That was shot on 16mm film. The specification for 4K is generally, the equivalent is 35mm film. So yeah. Now, I know a lot of people are also wondering, well, resolution of the Daleks. When you go on BBC iPlayer, it says it's in UHD. Is that true 4K? Yes and no. That's where it's complicated. So yes, it was shot in 4K, but the final master of it, when they were mastering it, because of the heavy amount of CGI, the CGI can only be rendered at 2K. So the final, print of it is in 2K. So what you're then watching is a 2K upscale of something that was originally recorded in 4K because of the CGI effects having to be done in 2K. It is still true HDR. It is still HDR. So that is still the case. But it's not true 4K. It's not true 4K. For example, all of the Marvel movies, every single Marvel film, all of them have been shot in 4K, pretty much for the most part. All of them have been shot in 4K. In fact, Avengers Endgame even had bits that were shot in 8K. But it's a 2K master because it's heavily reliant on CGI. Generally, most films that are in true 4K are films that were filmed in the past. For example, Jaws. I've got Jaws. That is a true 4K film now, with true HDR. The Shining, again, true 4K, shot on 35mm film. I've recently got Gremlins, again, true 4K. Anything that was shot on 35mm film and that didn't have either any or not a lot or basic CGI, then that will generally be true 4K. You can find this out online as well. In terms of modern films, Murder on the Orient Express was the remake that came a few years ago. So is Death on the Nile, that is meant to come out this year. Joker was So yeah, that's just an example. I could go on for forever and ever talking about Blu-rays and 4K Blu-rays because I'm sad and I know a lot about them for some reason. So yeah. Doc Ock says hi, babes. Okay. Sorry, I meant to be split into two. It's like last. Yeah, I did say they most likely would split them. They generally do, and that's just to spread out the release, and also means that the reason also they spread out the releases rather than release them all at once is it makes manufacturing a bit easier, less strenuous and that, but also it means that they know that if they do a massive wave all at once, they know that not everyone can afford to buy them all. So if they split them up, it means more people can afford them. Just like I gave the analogy before in the previous part of the live stream where the reason I didn't buy all the RB replica Sonics all at once and bought them like month on month is because I can afford to buy one RB replica Sonic a month as long as I'm not, buying B&M sets or anything else expensive. Like, if I decide, right, that's the expensive thing I'm buying this month, I can afford to buy one of them a month. But if I decided to buy all of them at once, I couldn't afford to do that. So that's how I can afford to do something like that. Anyhow. So yeah, Doc Ock, it's Reese on a different account. You sound really, Reese. This is you on a different account. You sound more. How come it sounds more like Lennon then? How come it sounds more like Lennon talking? Because I've never heard you call me babes. Lennon has, you haven't. And I deny both. There's a small little misunderstanding in my part. Yeah, misunderstanding in my part as well because I was talking about the initial ones being released, but obviously you were talking about other ones and that. So yeah, we both had a bit of a misunderstanding. I hold my hand up to that. There's random. I'd like the Wheeling Space Side Mount to release 2. Mad how they won't even show us the prototype image. You can actually find it out there. Although every time you do find it, it gets taken down very quickly. I do have it saved somewhere, I think. Do I have it on my tablet? I don't know. I will have it saved somewhere. I think. Oh, I'll have it somewhere probably. I've got that many bloody images and shit, so yeah, I probably will have it somewhere. 3 sets, 4th of July. Over 4 sets, yeah. Which, again, brace up now, my lovely, lovely granny will be buying me 7 of the 8 sets. She'll be buying me 7 of the 8 sets. She might even buy me all 8, but she'll be buying me 1 set of all of them as a thank you to me. So I have to thank her when she does buy them for you when they come out. Because she said, "Oh, you want the new B&M setting?" I said, "Oh yeah, She said, "Oh." I said, "Oh, I'd like that one." She said, "Oh, would you like them all? Would you like us to buy them all?" I went, "You don't have to buy them all. I'll buy them all." And he went, No, I'll buy them all. I'll buy them all. And I went, all right then. So that saves me more money because I will army build the Daleks. And to those who have a problem with me army building my Daleks, yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Because it's my money. I'll buy whatever the fuck I want. And also, unless you live in the same area as me, it will not make a difference to you. I don't understand if we both went to the same B&M. I kind of understand that. But otherwise, to those who think, oh, I take the sex out of children's hands. For one, never ever seen a child buy any of the Doctor Who stuff in B&M. What I have seen is loads of adult collectors buy them. Yeah, normally when I do buy mine, I'm normally joined in the queue by several other people, some of which have literal trolleys full. This was the case last year. There was literally a person in front of me I think the one in front of me, who literally bought a massive trolley, overflowing with B&M sets, and then there was a person behind me who had 2 baskets full of them. This was last year when the History of the Dark Sex 1 and 2s came out. So, yeah. Do you think the new series will get the collection treatment? Now, here's the thing about... Now, currently, no. Until they've finished re-releasing all the steelbooks, which they probably will get to pretty soon. Now, the interesting thing is... So it worried there because it kind of buffered for a second. Did it buffer? So, inevitable has happened that for some reason this app, it's either the app or this up. Hang on. Okay, it's still live. It is still live. Sorry, that kind of crashed on me there. But what I'm still annoyed to this day. The steelbooks, since they were only being released on Blu-ray, what they could have done is put on the full-length Doctor Who confidentials. Easily. Especially Series 1 and 2, because the confidentials, the full-length confidentials for Series 1 and 2, back then the confidentials were only half an hour for Series 1 and 2. For Series 3 through 6, they were 45 minutes to an hour long, depending on whether it was a regular episode or a special. But they could have fit them on the discs. They could, even if they were the full-length 45-minute ones, they could, since they were on Blu-ray and only being released on Blu-ray, so they didn't have to worry about fitting them on a DVD. They could have cut them across 2 discs. Now, in terms of the collections, I don't think they'll do... I don't know. Will they do... If they did do collections, I don't know if they would do individual series or whether they would just do them as the complete David Tennant years and might have the Christopher Eccleston years on there. I don't know. There was obviously the US box set, which is the complete David Tennant years Blu-ray release. There was also the DVD release. Here's something that annoys me to this day and annoyed me with the Series 8 Blu-ray Steelbook. To this day, the Series 8 deleted scenes, you cannot get them anywhere in the UK to this day. And the reason is because there was the beheading scene in Robot Sherwood. And since the episode was about to air so close to a real-life beheading, they decided to cut that scene from it. And to this day, it has not been released. All of the Series 8 deleted scenes have not been released. Apart from on the complete Peter Capaldi years, US-only Blu-ray sets, which was a limited edition set released in 2018. Which nowadays, if you want to get your wallets ready, because they are bloody expensive. So I was hoping they might put them on the Series 8 Steelbook, but they didn't. The only thing they can do now is possibly put them on the Series 10 Blu-ray set. I imagine the Series 10 Steelbook re-release, when they do get to that, will probably have Twice Upon a Time thrown on there as well, and maybe a bonus disc and that shoved on there with that. So that's basically the only hope in terms of that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because the thing is, you know, all of the new series is also on iPlayer, so anyone, you know, who pays their TV license can watch it all on iPlayer for no extra cost. Obviously, there's also BritBox as well, where you can watch the classic series as well on there. So yeah, there we go. Because that's really the only reason why they can get people to still buy the new series again, is by releasing steelbooks. So there we go. Anyway. Simnus Alpha says he's off. Okay, bye-bye. Right, where was I at before? Ah, yes. Clock. Or is it Lennon? Love me a tooth. Yeah, you are not Reese. You are most likely Lennon. You are most likely Lennon. Or someone else. But I doubt you're Reese because, well, I know... I seem to know... I know Reese fairly well by his fine, unless Reese is just like this on live streams, but I've seen him on live streams before. He's not known like this. This is more Lennon than that. Plus, the next comic says Lennon Scott. Anyway, I am off to watch The Claws of Axis. Never heard of that one. Heard of Claws of Axos, but Claws of Axis? Yes, I know, typo. Autocorrect is a nightmare. Was a bad idea to share an account. Oh, so it's Reese's account that you shared with Lennon. Never share an account, no. The idiots have found him. Can you send it to me somehow, please? I have never had luck finding it. So I wasn't sure what that was referring to. Oh yeah, was it the prototype figure? Yeah, if I find my picture of it, I will try and send it somewhere. If I find the picture. Are ye a Nazi? No, I am not a Nazi. Opinions on Torchwood. Let's have a very quick rundown. Series 1 and 2. Series 1 has its faults and it clearly is learning on, what works, what doesn't. Series 2, though, is pretty good, pretty solid. And Series 3, Children of the Earth, really good. Miracle Day, I did actually do a video on this. Miracle Day's biggest problem is it's twice the length it needs to be. Miracle Day feels like it should have been the same length as Children of Earth, but instead was stretched out to be double the length. Yeah. But there's my quick opinions on that. So, Cameron, a feature I would like about the iPhone 12 Plus is back tap, where you can tap the back of the phone to do a feature. Okay. For example, tap the back to take a screenshot. Yeah. On my phones and tablets, I can just swipe my palm across the screen, or I can use the app's edge. Arthur W. Willing, hello there, hello. Sinus Alpha, crap. Okay. Torchwood, yeah. Would love to see your prototype. Yep, this is Lennon. This is Lennon I'm talking to, isn't it? Yeah. This is Lennon I'm talking to. If you don't know who Lennon is, it's someone who loves to take the piss a little bit. Children of Earth is the only good Torchwood series. I wouldn't agree with that. I'd say series 1 and 2 are pretty good. Particularly episode 12 of series 2. And I've forgotten the name of it. By the way, for those who don't know, because some people still don't know this, all of Torchwood is on iPlayer. I think it went all on iPlayer last year. Some of that still hasn't been released on iPlayer. The Sarah Jane Adventures. Yeah. And it wasn't until last year that they actually created a Sarah Jane Adventures YouTube channel, which is weird. And also to this day, the only Sarah Jane Adventures story from Series 3 to actually be released on Blu-ray in its true HD is on the Complete Specials box set, or the Complete David Tennant years in the US, because all of Series 3 was recorded in HD and broadcast in HD. But to this day, they have not released a Blu-ray of it. They did a Blu-ray for Series 4 and 5, but not Series 3. Can we release Series 3 on Blu-ray, please? Or just do it as a complete collection? Come on. Come on. At least they released my favourite story from Series 3 on Blu-ray. And No Matrix Reese. That's just perfect. What are your opinions on Delta and the Batman? I haven't watched it in a long time, but when I did watch it, I remember it was alright. It was alright bit of fluff. You know, it was just something I could watch. Like, the thing is, I didn't really have any strong opinions anyway on it. But I find it's a perfectly fine story. It's alright. Yeah. It's fine. Therefore, I mean, there's nothing that can basically sway my opinion anyways. It's not bad enough for me to dislike it, but it's not good enough for me to say, oh yeah, recommend it. It's just like one of those things where it's just there, you watch it, and the fact that it's only 3 episodes, you know, it can go by pretty quick. So I would say that is, you know, yeah. I mean, compared to some of the stuff now, season 24 is so much better in retrospective when you now look at it compared to what we've had since in recent years. Like, I'd much rather watch that than series 11 or 12, or even even series 9 as well. Yeah, or series 6. They do have fandoms. I find Dull and the Batman good old fun around. Yeah. Just Gambling, do you like who Amino? I don't know what that is. What is who Amino? If I'm even pronouncing that rightly. Colin Baker is fit. Okay, if you think that's Doc Ock. They have found them. Any classic stories you haven't seen besides missing episodes? Yeah, well, I have listened to missing episodes soundtracks. Any classic series stories? Well, if you count Big Finish, I haven't listened to all of Big Finish. Not because I don't want to, because I can't afford to. So that would be that. In terms of classic series stories, I have it on DVD, but to this day, I still have not watched all of Underworld because I get bored. So I haven't watched all of Underworld to this day, despite having the DVD. In fact, the DVD is upstairs. And every time I think, oh yeah, I'll watch it today, and then I think, I'll wait until the Blu-ray box set. That'll give me an excuse. That sometimes actually the Blu-ray box sets do actually give me an excuse to just go, all right, I'll watch it. But yeah, other than that, I've seen pretty much every classic series story, at least in some shape or form, whether that's the actual episode or a recut of it, at least once. Though sometimes I do completely forget the plot if I'm completely bored by it. So, yeah. Actually, I discussed the case, like, for example, despite things, yeah. I'm trying to think of a story that I just can't remember anything of. I find the pure historical stories. I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a fan of the pure historicals. I just find them a bit uninteresting, to be honest. Which is weird because I am interested in history, though I think it's just the way it's kind of presented generally can make a difference. For example, I'm a big fan of Horrible Histories, the CBBC series 1 to 5. Though after the cast left, the original cast left, it wasn't the same. But yeah, it's just generally I'm interested in something. It's just like sometimes it is just the way it's presented. I guess, you know. If it's something I'm not really interested in, then yeah, because a lot of the pure historicals do become a bit of a history lesson. And if it's Chris Chibnall, it's copy the first couple of lines of Wikipedia, sometimes literally word for word, I'm not joking, about a character. There you go, that's a history lesson. That's a history lesson. I know how to use Wikipedia and copy it into the script. Nope, I'm going to drop this. Didn't Chibs write Torchwood? Yeah. He was actually the showrunner of Torchwood. And the thing is with Chris Chibnall, I find he's better at writing when he is writing something that is more original, that he has more creative control over. Doctor Who, it was already when he's writing for something that's already established, he tends not to. Plus, Chris Chibnall was also that. I mean, when he wrote Torchwood, that was now just over a decade ago. So yeah, generally now what he's been doing the past couple of years, he's basically just copied and pasted stories that were already famous and have worked before, and then he's just tried to shove generally some sort of political messaging to there. And I know what people are going to say. Oh, Doctor Who's always had political messages. Yes, Doctor Who has had political messages in there, particularly the Pertwee era, which I'm a big fan of. The difference is that in the Pertwee era, they didn't just stop the whole story, turn to camera, face the audience, and literally tell you the point. No, it was actually either it was part of the story or it was more subtly woven in, and it was always just like the story comes first. The story comes first, you know. Barry Lex knew it was always more important. It was the most important thing was to tell an interesting story. He knew that basically that generally the way to do it was to make it an entertaining story for the children that to watch, but for those adults watching, they could also pick up on the political message or whatever message he was sending as well, rather than slapping you across the face several times about it. Because, again, no one likes being preached at. And, you know, generally most of the Chris Chibnall era, the problem with it is I find it boring and incredibly forgettable. Apart from when Chris Chibnall is deliberately trying to piss me off. I say piss me off, piss fans off. And I say deliberately because clearly he is self-aware enough that he's wrote some lines into the script here and there and done some things that clearly he is aware of it. But yeah, a lot of the time he'll turn a blind eye and say, yeah, everything's fine, but we'll see. I have heard that there is a lot of debate in the BBC on what's going to happen next, because we've got one side where the BBC just wants to basically roll it all back and pretend all the Jodie Whittaker stuff and everything never happened. And just go back to basically how it was before. And then you've got the other side, which is what Chris Chibnall's on, who is saying no and is going to double down even harder on this until he's basically done for completely in a hole, because the threat of Doctor Who being cancelled is more real than ever before. Those ratings are going to the fucking toilet. And, you know, when you look at it and you go, what is the correlation here? I mean, yeah, it doesn't take a genius to work out what things are uncommon, what changed for the ratings to go down the toilet. And yes, they went down during the Peter Capaldi era. They did. And generally, most of that was attributed to shitty writing. Generally. In the Chris Chibnall era, it's a combination of shitty writing, shitty acting, shitty workmanship across the board. Yeah. Apart from a few exceptions, generally just shittiness across the board. Anyway. Doc Ock says, I'm going to blow up the sea. Okay, you do that, Doc Ock, and I don't care. The Idiot Fan, no way, I've watched all of them besides Underworld 2 for some reason. Yeah. Opinions on the Space Pirates. Oh, the Space Pirates. My God, the Space Pirates is one of the most fucking boring pieces of fluff. The thing is, it's just like... It's just one of those things that just goes on and on. I mean, the reason it was made was to basically fill 6 weeks. That was it. And it was also to the point where the main cast had to be just filmed in inserts bits for episode 6. Because they were busy doing the war games, a much better story. So yeah, Space Pirates, oh god. The idiots of the fandom, plus pure historicals, have begun to grow on me. I love the Aztecs, Region Terror, the Highlanders. Good shame it doesn't exist. And again, scampi fries or bacon fries. Why can't I have both? Why can't I have scampi and bacon fries together in the same bowl or plate? And why can't I throw on some cheese sauce on top of that? There's actually a really nice restaurant along the front of Blackpool. It's like a 50s style diner. I went there last year and I had I think it was the Elvis burger and fries, which was lovely, utterly lovely. Just a couple things. Have you watched The Romans? I watched The Romans, and yeah, just not really fussed on it. I do own it. In fact, I think the DVD's upstairs. But yeah, again, I'm just not a fan of the pure historicals. I'm just not a fan of them, unfortunately. Just going. I have a curse with getting figures, as each figure I get, the quality problems of them I have the most. Hang on, I have figures, as each one I get has a quality problem on most of them. Yes, now, if you're like me, it depends. Like, if there's a slight paint bleed, then generally I will live with it. Reluctantly, I'll live with it. But if it's something more major, then I will take it back to B&M or wherever. In fact, I used to do this even more back in the day. But yeah, I'm a person who expects to get I expect to get what I pay for, basically. For example, at McDonald's, if my chips are cold at McDonald's, then I will take them back. Regardless, I will always take them back. Because if I pay for hot food, if I pay for fast food that's supposed to be hot, it should be hot. End of discussion. So, for example, the second Doctor Tardis, I actually ended up taking back. The one I actually reviewed last year, I actually did end up taking it back. Because the warp doors were so bad, they actually did break something. I think something broken or something happened to it. And I ended up taking it back. So yeah, don't be. I mean, if you are unhappy with it and there's an issue, generally just take it back and they'll be happy to take it back. Most of the time. Sometimes it does depend on what staff member, but at my B&M, they tend to recognise me a little bit. Some of the staff do recognise me and it's like, oh, it's him again, asking for the Doctor Who stuff. But yeah, generally most of the time, depending on what B&M you go to, if the staff and that are friendly, they'll be more than happy. I mean, I remember when I took the second Doctor TARDIS back last year, they didn't even ask to look at it. They just said, yeah, no problem. No problem. Scanning you. There you go. Off. So I have had one case where they've been awkward, but that was at a different B&M. So generally it just depends. But yeah, I've always said this, if you don't complain about something, then it'll never get any better. It will just stay the same because there's no incentive to change it. So that's why you should always, if you're unhappy about something, then complain about it. So yeah, that's just what I do personally. I found them. The Romans is basically like a carry-on film. Okay. I haven't actually watched any of the carry-on films, so I don't really have a point of reference. Oh, quick call. Just confirmed 43 pence cashback. Lovely. And that was from Just Eat. Great. Andy G asks, would you rather eat a Dalek made from chocolate or a Tardis made from ice cream? Well, I prefer ice cream to chocolate, so I'd probably eat an ice cream Tardis. Plus, a chocolate Dalek, because I did actually have a chocolate Dalek once, the little ones that were made for comic relief. There was I think, was it a Dalek? No, there was a Tardis one, there was a K9 one. I think I have had a chocolate Dalek somewhere around Easter, but yeah. But yeah, I much prefer ice cream to chocolate. And the reason is, chocolate just makes me thirsty. And can be a bit sickly, but ice cream, I can fucking eat ice cream until there's no tomorrow. Although it depends what flavour. Because I hate salted caramel. I like salt. I like caramel. I don't like them together. Like, there's two contrasting flavours to me that just do not go together. So yeah, preferably I'd like it to be strawberry. Simus Alpha, when do you think the next online exclusive could come out? I don't know, because the Jungles and Mechanist set came out just before the History of the Dark Set 3 and 4 and that came out, so yeah, I mean, to be honest, it could be any time. But if I was to hazard a guess with the way they normally plan on doing it, it'll either be between July and October sets and possibly be released in September, August time, or between October and the December sets to basically have something released in the middle. It makes more sense to it makes more sense to release it when there's a gap in the release schedule. But we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. Something I would really like to get re-released is the Emperor Davros. And if they decide to pair with Big Finish again, which they haven't done since 2019, they've only done the one since 2019, I would like to see the silver version of the Emperor Davros from Terra Firma. Or if not, I would love to see the original release have a re-release again. Joseph Gatling, mainly I use eBay and I live in Ireland, so there's a difference for me. So I'm assuming you mean the main Ireland mainland, because obviously Northern Ireland there's B&Ms in there, so yeah, right. Well, there's two things you could do in terms of the B&M stuff. Is you could either go up to Northern Ireland, although then again that depend on how you sound like. From the sounds of it, you sound like you're further away, so that probably isn't an option. Or, like, generally all the B&M sets do end up on Amazon because they're sold on Amazon US as well, so you can generally get them that way. Obviously, they're on eBay. To be honest, in the past few years, the B&M sets on eBay, once they're past that initial release, like once they're actually properly in the stores, they're not actually that. In the past couple of years, they haven't been that expensive on eBay. They're normally about a $5 or maybe a $10 more in some cases, or sometimes even retail price when they've gone on sale. So yeah, I've noticed on eBay obviously, if you can get them in the shops, get them in the shops. But eBay recently, the prices haven't been too bad on them. So yeah. Doc Ock says, your iconic Dalek jelly. Yes, the reason that didn't work is because I added too much fruit into it. I was going to make fruit jelly. The problem is the fruit made the jelly too heavy, unfortunately. So the problem is the jelly set at the top, but not at the bottom. It didn't set. It was basically wasn't that. So to be honest, that could probably work if I got rid of the fruit or just didn't add as much. I added a bucket load of fruit. So yeah. Plus the shape of it didn't really work either. I still ate the full thing, and it was quite nice. But yeah, I still do have that, which is a Dalek cake mold. But yeah, I might do something with it. I might make a chocolate Dalek. Because the good thing about it is that it's like a silicon. It's basically a silicon mold, and it's since it's very flexible and that. So I could make a chocolate Dalek out of it. Obviously I could make a Dalek cake in it, but we'll see what I decide to do with that. I'll plug this in a charge actually. Plug this in a charge. There we go. Joseph Gavling says, actually the B&M are in Ireland, but instead they are called Home Savers. Okay, that's a bit weird. Why they would just change their name just for mainland Ireland. I don't know why. Maybe another company has ownership there, but I don't know why. And Doc Hawk says, "Cheese, Gromit. Let's have a nice hot cup of tea. Hey, Gromit." Yeah. And yeah. So long are we going? An hour 36. Fucking hell. At least it ends on time. At least we're getting time out again. I think I timed out when I move things around. It doesn't like it. This app doesn't like it if the connection drops at all. Like, it likes it to be high and constant, never stopping, never filtering, never fading, never filtering, never fading. And the wave things will carry on, as in parallel to parallel. This is my ultimate victory, Doctor. The destruction of reality itself. I watched Journey's End last night. Andy G asks, will you still be able to do your Christmas live stream when you're back home? Well, the thing is, it might still happen at my granny's, but not at this house. It'll happen basically at my granny's apartment if she does get one. She's on a wait list for one, and she's hoping to get one with 2 rooms, so I should have my own room there, so I should still be able to do it there. If not, then I'll just do it at home. I'll do it in my bedroom, but yeah, it still will shut. If I can speak, it should still happen. It should still happen in some shape or form, whether it'll be still live or whether I'll have to record it. I mean, I record them anyway. Normally what happens is, nowadays I do the live stream and I also record it at the same time. And generally, I recommend if you do miss the live stream, watch the recording, don't watch the live stream version, because the recording is better quality, better audio, and you get to see things better. The live stream is just like kind of watch it live there and then. I'm just gonna swipe away these notifications. There we go. Just going. I managed to get the 2020 wave. Oh, I was confirm. That's not me. This is I know the fucking banger is. Okay, so Doc Ock is confirmed to be Lennon. As confirmed to be Lennon. Yeah. So yeah, Reese has just messaged me saying that yes, it is. It is Lennon. It is Lennon. So anyway, what was I doing? Oh yes, just gone. I managed to get the 2020 third wave of B&M sets there. Plus I got the 2018 sets there. Just going. I bet that's going to be the only Doctor Who sets I get there, as they look unpopular given the announcements that they have. Annie asks, what's the worst Christmas present you have ever got? The worst? I don't know. I can't really name the worst. one, because usually the worst one is just like a one that I don't care about. Like, it's not bad, because usually, like, normally especially in the last 5-10 years, I buy all of my Christmas presents and my mum just owes me the money back. Like, I buy like 90% of them and she buys us a couple of surprises that I've asked for as well. So yeah, normally they are all good. I tell you what I was disappointed about when I was 4. So this would have been Christmas 2002. When I was 4, I asked for a red Dyson for Christmas. And I was disappointed on Christmas Day to open a toy Dyson. You know, the one with the little balls and that, the little ping pong balls that, not ping pong balls, the little like little beady balls that go around when you push it around. I was disappointed to get that. My parents go, why? What's the matter with it? You said you wanted Dyson. I wanted a real Dyson. My parents didn't think that I actually wanted a legitimate Dyson. Yes, a 4-year-old for Christmas wanted a red Dyson, to the point where I remember not long before Christmas, in like November, I threw a 2-pence coin into a wishing well and wished for a red Dyson. Yes, to the point. So if you think at one point I was normal, no, I've always been weird. When I was little, 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kid, I was obsessed with bins and hoovers. Yeah. To the point where when we went on holiday to like Tenerife or somewhere else or somewhere in Spain and that, when we would walk along the pathway beside the beach at night, they'd have these like white bins with green legs, and I would go up and touch and fiddle along with each and every single one of them, and I would shit myself if I saw a Biffa bin. Ooh, yeah. So for those who think me being weird is something that just happened in my teenage years or adulthood, nope. Always been this way, always been weird. No matter what, it's always been the case. It's always been the case. Always will be. And I've always had obsessions. Always. So it was no surprise back in, what was it? It was like 2015 or 2016, I finally got diagnosed with OCD. Who would have guessed I had OCD? There was no signs before then, no. Just going. However, the Dalek and the Tardis sex are not there anymore, probably because of shelf space. Yeah, on the aluminium tanks. Cybus Alpha says, "What the hell?" Yeah, if you went away, it's like, what? Yes. Yeah, I went a bit of the. Ooh. I mean, those of you who don't know, check out my Doctor Who items to unboxes from like back in the day. I say back in the day, a few years ago, because I did videos on YouTube on this channel where I would do Doctor Who unboxings called Doctor Who items to unbox, and the narrative. I would also do skits at the start and end of the videos, and the narrative would be that I was on the hunt at war with packing peanuts, and I was going to be killing them, and instead I killed a factory worker who worked at a packing peanuts factory, and that, yeah, that got really weird. Yeah, so I've always been a bit crazy. Jules Gavin says, "Are you on Instagram?" Technically, no, I'm not on Instagram. I have Facebook, Twitter, and I've got a Discord. I've also got Google Hangouts. But yeah, I try to be on as minimal social media accounts as I can, just because I find it's a bit cluttered otherwise. Like, the only reason I'm really on Facebook is because that's how I contact That's how I have contact with a lot of my friends who are also on Facebook. I have Twitter for mainly, just posting about videos and stuff that I'm doing. So that's mainly connected to my YouTube stuff. Same with Discord, and that. So yeah. One Vegas Fuska Grease. I was at B&M today, and I might have accidentally only bought myself 2 History of the Dark set 1s and 2s. Oops. You fucking idiot, Reese. You might have So, I'll remember that, Reese. I'll remember that next time I accidentally forget to send you your VHSs. Andy J asks, why don't you get Nathan to do the Christmas unboxing with you? That's easy, because Nathan will not want to. Nathan does not like being... Nathan is embarrassed about being on my YouTube. Most of the time. He'll only do it if he's in the right mood or if he wants something from me. Basically, generally, most of the time he just wants to play on his Xbox or now his PS4. He's not really interested in doing it. Plus, when I do it, I normally do it like bang on midnight as well. So yeah, he would not do it. He probably couldn't be asked to do it. So yeah, no, that's probably won't happen. Plus, when I do it, I normally do it at my granny's, and I'm the only one who stays overnight at my granny's. So yeah, that generally means no one else stays here because there's only one extra bed. So yeah, which is mine. They only had 4 though, and I wanted more. Yeah, well, Reese, I'll remember next time, Reese. Next time you want shit off me. What's your Discord? I only got Discord yesterday. Okay. I will post a link to my Discord in the comments. Where is the share button on my Discord? No, that's not it. I've forgotten how to use Discord because I barely ever use it. Here we go. So there's my Discord. Just posted that. I've recently been speaking to on Discord the Doctor's Props 231163, who has a YouTube channel, who has recently done videos on his RB replica Sonics. So he got his around the same time as me, and he's done videos now. He has had his 3rd Doctor Sonic done up by a friend. Interestingly, by the looks of it in the video, his friend, rather than painting it, has actually used PVC tape, or electrical tape, as it's more commonly known, to do it, which does actually work. It does actually work, though I would prefer mine to be painted. For one, it's also more accurate as well. But yeah, and he also managed to get his friend to add electronics to the RB War Doctor Sonic, which I'm still a little bit on the fence of. The thing is, the older one looked easier to... the thing is, it's not easy to add electronics to the RB War Doctor Sonic because there's just not enough... There's barely any room in there. There's barely any room inside there. So, yeah, that's the thing. I did ask Scarecrow Props if he'd be able to, and he said no. And without having one myself, I wouldn't actually be able to see would I be able to do it, because RB has changed his Sonics over time. They are different to how they used to be in the way that they're made. For example, it used to be able to screw the end section off on the RB Sonics. You can no longer do that on them. Maybe not for the War Doctor one, but I couldn't tell. I don't have one in hand, and currently I don't have any to hand. So So yeah. Again, I kind of rabbit on a bit, don't I? Rabbit. Odd Bandicoot 96. How are you doing? I'm alright. Sinus Alpha says, apparently Catherine Tate was filming Doctor Who Series 13. Okay. Again, it seems to be a thing of just like, Chris Chibnall is basically, just trying to go, hey, look, here's a thing that people like. Come back, trying to convince people, to actually watch it. You need to fix the writing. I don't think that'll happen. Yeah, but we'll see. The only reason I am watching Series 13 is to do YouTube videos on it, because I have literally no other reason to watch it, because God, I was bored by Series 11. I was half bored by Series 12 and half annoyed by it and frustrated by it. So, yeah, we'll see. But Chris Chibnall is good. Like, the thing is, because like, who would take over? If Chris Chibnall left, who would take over? Because none of his writers are good. None of the writers he has got working for him are good. None of them. So, I don't know. I mean, my answer would be to add Big Finish writers to the mix. I'm surprised to this day Nick Briggs has never wrote a Dalek story for the new series for television at all, which is odd, because you think he jumped at the chance to do that, but I don't think he's ever been offered it. But yeah, I think that's about it. God, so was that an hour 51? Bloody hell. So yeah, it's the point that I always say in every live stream. So if you have any other comments or anything else to say, please, ask me absolutely anything you like. Doesn't have to be Doctor Who related if you want. Like, literally anything, absolutely anything, and I mean anything, in the in the chat and that below, and I'll answer it. Otherwise I'll wrap things up, and then inevitably it'll be the point where we'll go on for another bloody 15 minutes, because people just like bombard it. So we'll see. Just like, if you got anything else to ask or add on that, please feel free to. Otherwise, because I can't think of anything else off the top of my head to currently see. Why is it called building if it's already built? Building? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Do you like Back to the Future? I do like Back to the Future, but I'm not like a sort of fan. I just enjoy the films. I just enjoy them. I like them, but I'm not like a huge Back to the Future fan or anything like that. I do, I do enjoy them, but I wouldn't call myself a Back to the Future fan. I just enjoy them. Like, I enjoy them on the same level, I'd enjoy Jaws or The Shining from back then. Although, to be honest, I probably enjoy Jaws and The Shining that more. The Doctor 11, still no 4K rips of it, lol. Yeah, get your arsing at action, Reese. I spent fucking hours farting on trying to get getting your 4K Blu-ray drive up and running so it could rip 4K Blu-rays, come on. Get your arse into action, Reese. Just building as in structure, okay. Have you seen Ghostbusters? To this day, I can honestly say I have not seen Ghostbusters. I have not seen it. I have not seen it, no. In terms of films, like some of my favourite kind of film, like I do like slasher films, like classic ones, like all the Halloween films, all all the Nightmare on Elm Streets, particularly the Chucky films are my favourite. And in that regard, actually really looking forward to Halloween Kills this year. And on my other channel, we've got a message. We've got a message from RB. Everyone quiet. We've got a message from RB. All fixed. Thank you. Hey, so message from RB. He's all fixed, packed out, and we'll send out this week. So there we go. Yes, so that'll be me 4th and 5th Dr. Sonics. He should be sending me back. He said in a couple of weeks he's going to start doing 8th Dr. Sonics. He said to me, because I've already prepaid him, commissioned him for that. So by next month, sometime next month at this rate, probably, I should have an 8th Dr. Sonic from him. Scarecrow props, fuck knows when. But yeah, that's all fixed up. Oh God, I mean, bloody thing saying, "Hey, you're almost out of storage on your, you're almost out of Google fucking storage." Great. So all these fucking promotion emails and that is taking up all my space, man. Also, I'm really annoyed that I think is it in June? That Google Photos is no longer free in June, which is really, really fucking annoying. Because Google Photos was a really good place to, back up your shit. But no longer. Anyway, there's something happened there. Do you like passing wind? Okay, so do I like farting? Yeah.